Hey, what's up guys? It's Austin here from Royal Highness Python, and in today's video we're going to talk about how big ball pythons get. So some people just hear the word python and assume they get really big, but we're going to talk about that. Before we get into that, huge shout out to Sapphire Royals. Thank you so much for this hoodie. It's super hot in here and I love the back of it. Hashtag Team Austin. And yeah, something really cool that happened today. So we just got straight in here, and if you look right over here, we got one clutch, and then we even got another clutch right over here. So we're gonna do a video putting those away and get that out for you guys soon. So let's get right back into this one, talk about the size. So boom. So before I show you any of the big snakes, let's show you some small snakes. So right here is a lavender 66% het pied. This is from that last dreamsicle clutch, and he had 2 meals looking really good and is just around 100 grams. So this is about the size of a baby ball python. When you buy a baby ball python, it shouldn't be this small. Every breeder should be selling them around 150 to 200 grams. 100 grams is a little too small for me. Like I said, this guy only had 2 meals in him and is not yet a real established eater, even though he did eat both meals right off the bat. So it's important when you get your baby ball python that is an established eater and that he is about 200 or she is 200 grams, because that's about the age and the size range where they will eat perfectly by themselves if they already are established. So this is a ball python straight out of the egg, 2 meals, and now I'm going to show you one that is about 6 months old. So this right here is my pastel Enchi possible vanilla clown female, and she is just hitting the 6-month mark, and she is around 400 to 500 grams. She has been eating a rat pup for the beginning of her life, or a rat fuzzy, once a week, and then I moved her up to a rat pup and then to a rat weaned, and that's where she's at right now. She's not power fed. I feed every 7 days. And this is generally what a 6-month-old ball python will look like. So if we were to compare the 6-month-old with the couple-week-old, you can definitely see there's a big size difference, especially in the girth. The length, there isn't too much of a difference because ball pythons do not get too long as they do girthy. They're more of a round, short snake, while other pythons are very long and slim. So this is once again about a month old. This is 6 months old. Now we're gonna jump up to a year old. So right here is my Enchi blade clown female. She was born last year in August, so August 2019. And now that it's August 2020, she is a year old. She is 1,100 grams and has been only fed once a week, an appropriate size rat. And when I say appropriate size rat, I mean a rat that is about the circumference of the belly or the same girth, and that when she swallows it, you can see a little bit of a bulge in her belly. So she was not power fed. She grew this much. If you have a male, they will grow a little smaller. If you give me 1 minute, I'll go and get a male that is 1 year old, and you can see that they don't grow as big as the females. And actually a full-grown male could stay at this size if you choose to feed him smaller. So you can actually regulate the size of your ball python by how much you feed it. If you want to feed once a week, it'll grow at this rate. But if you were to feed once every 2 weeks, it would grow at a slower rate. It could stunt the growth, but there's no real harm if it's just a pet. If you want to be a breeder, it's better to feed once a week. But if it's going to just be a pet ball python, it's fine to feed once every 2 weeks to slow the growth, and your ball python will not have any negative side effects, but it will be a little bit smaller than it would be if you were feeding every week. So to compare the size of a 1-year-old male and a 1-year-old female, once again is the Enchi blade female, around 1,100 grams. And here's my spot nose asphalt / yellow belly 100% het clown male, and he's around 800 grams. Once again, they were fed the exact same way, but males have a smaller genetic potential than the females do, so they will grow at a little bit of a slower rate. But that's to say, I could have made this guy this big if I were to feed him a little more every week. But that's up to you at your own discretion. I would advise to feed the way I discussed earlier. And if you would like to do your own thing, do it at your own discretion, because power feeding your animals can result in infertile eggs, a dead animal, and a lot of stress on the animal. So I would definitely not do it. So these are the 1-year-old animals. Now we're gonna jump up into the adults, which are usually around 2 years old, but ball pythons do not stop growing at 2 years. They will keep growing until about 10 years, I find. After 10 years, they seem to max out their genetic potential, and you're left with a snake around 5 feet. So right here, we have a 2017 pied female, and she is about to be bred next year. She's just hit 3 years old. She's around 17 to 1800 grams. I was planning to breed her this year, but she didn't go for me, so I just left her aside and kept feeding her. But this is the general size of a 3-year-old female, and right around my neck here I have another 2017 who is a male. This is my Orange Dream Fire Butter Ultra male, and you can see there's a little bit of a size difference between the two, and not so much in the length because they're both pretty much going to be around 3 to 4 feet, but the female is just a lot more girthier. She has a lot more fat reserves. The males do not need as much fat, but they can store it as well. I just like to keep my males more skinnier. These girls are going all over the place, so I'll just put her around my neck. And the males don't need to be as big, especially mine, because I use mine for breeding, but if yours is just a pet, you can definitely feed yours a little bit more to give it that more plump look if you would like that. But a bigger snake is not always a better snake. So when it's more obese, it can have more health problems, it's harder on the organs, so I definitely would feed your snake appropriately. But this isn't the biggest a female can get. Like I said, males and females can get bigger depending how you feed them, and sometimes a male would get this size, and this is about the biggest you'll see a male. Some males are genetic freaks and become a little larger, just like in humans. We have people who are 6'5", 6'10", and then people who are 5'5", 5'4", 5 feet. So there's a lot of variance. But I'll show you some bigger females right now. But generally, this is the size of a male, an adult male, and they could probably get to this size, but anything bigger is probably eating too much, or it could be from an area, because there are some areas or regions that ball pythons get bigger than others, and I'll touch up on that in the very end. So let's go show you some bigger females right now. So if you take a look here, this is a 2014 pied female, so she is 6 years old. And if I'm just gonna put her next to that last pied I had out who was 3 years old, and there is a big size difference. Not only is there a length difference, there's also a big difference in girth. If I were to put these two side by side, which I kind of can't, you can definitely see the size difference. This one is probably 6 to 7 inches longer, because ball pythons do usually tap out around 4 feet, but you do get some freaks that can get to 5. Pretty cool. And there are some localities that even get bigger. But once again, this is about the general size of a big female ball python. This is a 70-30 bin. It's pretty big, and she covers it up pretty well. I do have some females that are even bigger than her, but they're not here. They're at Billy's right now, and we actually just had a clutch of them, and I'll be doing an update of that clutch on this channel as well as on Billy's channel, so stay tuned for that. Sorry guys, I keep messing up. It's hot in here. I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm sweating. There's no fan on right now because it'd be messing up with the audio. But like once again I was saying, the Voltas are something I've been on the hunt for. I haven't been able to find any. I haven't even seen any in real life. I have seen a few pictures, but only in real life I've seen a few hybrids. The hybrids are bigger than the normals, and it's pretty cool, and I couldn't imagine how much bigger a pure Volta would be. So this is pretty much going to be it for the video. I'm going to go and do a more in-depth video in the future and show a lot more about this, but I think I would just do a quick video right now to get something out there for you guys and a lot of you guys who might not know this information. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.